start of the 1977 season brought hope to the Cowboys that Heisman Trophy winner Tony Dorsett could be the spark at running back to propel the Cowboys back to the Super Bowl. It also brought hope to the Vikings of a fresh start after a humiliating Super Bowl loss to the Raiders just 8 months earlier.
Welcome to season number 58. I'm Pat Summerall with Tom Brookshire. I can't think of a better place to start it than the Cowboys against the Vikings. Can you, Tom?
Sort of a playoff game, whether it's the first one or the last one with these two teams. No doubt about it.
You look at these two ball clubs, Minnesota and Dallas, and they're young. They have rebuilt, but yet while they're rebuilding, they've managed to stay on top.
Well, and the all-stats quarterback, Fran Tarkenton, does not play well against Dallas. I think he's 5-9 lifetime. But listen, Seaman, Blair, and McNeil are good linebackers with speed. Dallas is going to have to figure that out. They go to the three-man front once in a while, too, Pat.
What do you know of the situation of last year's Heisman Trophy winner, Tony Dorsett, in Dallas?
I think Preston Pearson on the experience factor will start, and then we'll see Tony Dorsett very quickly.
The ball teed up at the 35. The Cowboys will kick it off, and it'll be Efren Herrera. Brent McClanahan is the deep man for the Vikings, and he will field it at the 1. McClanahan behind the wedge. To the right side, and good. Outside. Short of the 20-yard line. First down, Minnesota at their 19. The quarterback, the very familiar number 10, Fran Tarkenton. Foreman and McClanahan, the running backs. And Tarkenton will throw on first down. The coverage is good. Aaron Kyle.
Kyle might be shaken up on the play, and if anything, it looked like there might have been a little bit of offensive interference, but the receiver and Kyle are both on the ground.
The receiver, I believe, Tom, is Ahmad Rashad. Aaron Kyle is back up. He is starting in place of Mel Renfro. And there's Ahmad Rashad. So it's second down for the Vikings. Tarkenton gives to Foreman, who cuts back or tries to the inside. Bob Brunig was the first man who got there. So it's going to be 3rd and 8. Last play for Minnesota got 2 yards. And here goes Tarkenton again. Down the middle and deep to Foreman. At the 40 is Chuck Foreman. Stopped by Thomas Henderson. Foreman out of the backfield.
And he is slow getting up. Watch how quickly number 44 gets into it. He's down to 206 pounds this year, and he actually juked Henderson out of the way. Good pass blocking. And as we've said, anybody that can catch 218 passes in 4 seasons is almost impossible to stop.
Randy Hughes, along with Henderson, made the tackle. But what a juke Foreman put on Henderson. And Foreman might be hurt, or is hurt, no question about it, as you look at that.
If you lose Rashad and Foreman the first 2 or 3 plays of your game, Bud Grant's going to be grayer than you are.
That's impossible.
We're not laughing at the injury. It's just that Foreman is such an incredible athlete, somehow you always believe he'll get up. Fran's going to throw it a lot today, huh?
Like he might have to. Straight ahead, Johnson on a misdirection play, and Johnson's got some room. At the 40, at the 35 by Cliff Harris. It is 2nd and 10 at the Dallas 34. Sammy Johnson and McClanahan still the running back. Francis. Stu Voigt. Stopped again by offline. Chuck Foreman is back in for the Vikings. First down, Minnesota. He is going to throw a lot, isn't he? For Sammy White. Knocked down. White had a hand on it. Harris and Kyle back with him.
It's sort of the warning track, but that's playable where they come down. And watch what Sammy White almost did with it. Then Kyle comes and scrapes it off into the fence. That's a pretty dangerous area to catch a ball in, by the way.
I'll tell you. That is gravel down there. The word on Ahmad Rashad is that he just got his bell rung. That means he got hit hard in the head. And he'll be back. Tarkenton is going to throw back across the field. Wide open is Chuck Foreman, and he's going to score.
56 touchdowns in 55 games. Now watch him fake to Foreman. Foreman went through the line, died a little bit for a count or two, and the weak side linebacker, and I'm not going to try to put responsibility, should have been laying there waiting for him. Now watch this from the same angle as the play unfolds, and you'll see how open 44 is. And he was the first man they faked to. Harris has no chance. Foreman looks like he's all right.
I'll say. 81 yards, 8 plays. 19-yard touchdown pass to Chuck Foreman. An extra point by Fred Cox, and Minnesota making it look easy.
Hey, Schlitz wants you to have a ball. Pass the word, pass the word.
Hey, now's the time to pick up plenty of Schlitz.
Pass the word, pass the word, pass the word.
Because the Schlitz football offer is here. Look for this display at participating stores and save up to $5 on an official Wilson football. Come on.
Pick up Schlitz and have a ball. Pass the word, pass the word, pass the Schlitz.
Golden Richards again is lined up in the backfield, and here he comes out. The Newhouse straight ahead. Page, the first man there. So it'll be second down now, and 14 yards to go. Straight ahead is Pearson. He got some room. Preston Pearson outside the 40 for a Dallas first down to the 43. Drew Pearson split wide to the left. And so is Dupree. A shotgun on 3rd and 8. Staubach drops. Started to throw, didn't. Does not have first down, and what a shot he took. Jeff Seaman and Bobby Bryant almost took him in half.
And even worse, Roger did not get the first down. Let's take a look at the first shotgun of regular season play. Drew Pearson was going to be the receiver, but he fell down. Now, Roger makes a pretty good run. Watch Bryant low and Seaman high. Hello there. 4th down.
First down, Minnesota, with 2:56 left first period. Tarkenton is going for the marbles. Henderson. You think he can't run? Out go 2 linebackers, and in come 2 extra defensive backs for Dallas. One is Mel Renfro. The other is Randy Hughes. 3rd and 10 situation. Tarkenton under the rush. Henderson with the interception, I believe. He did catch it. He did catch it. On his back, Thomas Henderson.
I thought we were watching a baseball replay. Now watch Henderson. He's the middle linebacker that's got 9,500 speed. That's what he had when he was in college at Langston. Now watch him go across, cut off, and hit. You'll see number 58 and 44 run. Now watch him fall down. Watch the ability of this one.
The Cowboys, 12 consecutive opening day wins. Right now, they're behind 7-0 to Minnesota. Staubach outside, Drew Pearson. First down, I believe.
Big block was by Donovan, the big right tackle that used to be a defensive lineman at Stanford. He cut Carl Eller completely down, and Roger had complete area of vision. He just saw his receiver, threw it easily, no problem, because Eller was stretched.
2nd and 8. Dallas quarterback Roger Staubach drops and throws outside, or tried to Newhouse. Knocked down by Jim Marshall.
Which way, Jim Marshall? There's another veteran that's been around a while, 18 seasons. He played 1 year with Cleveland and then came over here.
A lot of fans don't know that Jim Marshall played 1 year in the Canadian Football League in 1959 for the Saskatchewan Roughriders before playing for the Cleveland Browns. The Roughriders finished with a 1-win, 15-loss record as Marshall had quit Ohio State prior to his senior season. He was traded from the Roughriders to the Browns in what I suspect to be a rare trade between the CFL and the NFL. Perhaps CFL fans can add a comment as to how commonplace that was.
But it'll be 3rd down for the Cowboys, and still 8 with 34 seconds left first period.
Big play right now for Dallas. Big.
And it's time to load up the gun. Staubach drops deep. And throws deep for Pearson. He's open.
Now watch from the shotgun. You think it's all big cigars and motor cars for quarterbacks. Watch this. Roger throws it deep, gets it off, and Page, and that's the Apache Stranglehold.
Over the top of Neely. There it is again.
Now watch Drew Pearson try to back under the secondary man and get an interference call because he doesn't feel like the ball's going to make it, which it doesn't. Tries to call it. Doesn't happen. There's no rhyme or reason with this guy.
This is the spot he likes to unload, and there he goes. Francis. There goes the flag. He threw it away.
Going to lose it down, but you can't lose the points.
And you can't lose many yards.
He didn't lose his life either. Watch this. And I'm telling you, the big guys come with the rush. Tarkington in the end zone, looking for a short pattern. He's trying to get Voigt checking out. Oop, here comes Too Tall. And there's Randy White. He didn't even know Fran got rid of the ball.
Second and 11. He only lost a yard by that violation. He might try it again. Stu Voigt. First down, Minnesota. Strange to me, Tom, to look at a Minnesota crowd that's not all breathing smoke and wrapped up in fur coats.
Are singing Christmas songs.
Yeah. Chuck Foreman right straight up the middle. Stopped by Ed Jones. Minnesota leads. A touchdown pass to Foreman. Bad exchange between Foreman and Tarkenton, and a worse exchange between Randy White and Tarkenton.
Fran wouldn't give it up, but he had thoughts about it. Watch this. It's going to be a little old. It's almost the old Statue of Liberty. A bad handoff on the hip. Now Fran and Randy White get into this. You were close though.
Yeah. Dallas owns the football, 1st and 10 at their own 41. 12 minutes left, first period. Staubach is going to throw. Wide open is Golden Richards inside Minnesota territory to their 45. Oh, snap. Staubach throws, caught.
Preston Pearson was the only Cowboys player in 1977 to have played for another NFL team.
8:35 left on the clock before halftime, and it's still Minnesota 7, Dallas nothing. 3rd and 3. For Dupree. In that gravel part of the end zone, boy, that's a bad place to fall, I'll tell you.
And I'm telling you, that is real gravel. And he laid out that full 6'5" frame, and he's a little slow getting up, and I bet he's got abrasions the full length.
You know he does. Now we'll get our look at Frin Herrera with Charlie Waters holding. Herrera was very, very erratic in warm-up practice before the game. In fact, Dan Reeves, the Dallas coach, was telling me he had never seen him as erratic as he was. All of which is a pretty good endorsement for him to make this out of Charlie Waters' hold. It's good.
And Roger Staubach had plenty of time on that pass play, and I think he would like to reload and throw that one again, Pat.
It'll be a first down, Minnesota, at their own 24. Miller. Broke a few, didn't he? The stats on Tarkenton, the situation he faces. For White. With Harris. And he'll stay down. He went down as a result of contact. That was Benny Barnes on the coverage.
Boy, did Benny Barnes have the receiver covered. This is a stretch out now, and I'll tell you, Fran can throw it. Don't believe the stories that the arm won't go. Now watch it change. And you'll see the rest of the play from behind Fran, and watch Barnes make the play. And there's Harris. Isn't he always?
7-0 before a sellout group. The Vikings lead Dallas 7-3, I beg your pardon. Scott Laidlaw and Tony Dorsett are the running backs for the Cowboys. And here is Dorsett's first carry in the NFL, and it gets maybe a half yard.
What a day for football up here. I've never seen it like this.
Very humid, however. Pearson comes back in motion. Dorsett gets the call. Dorsett might have gotten a yard and might have gotten the first down. It is going to be very close. Jim Marshall led the charge. It is 3rd down. Dorsett did not get it. He'll get another crack. And again, he does not get it. Yet by Stu Voigt for 40 yards and a Minnesota first down. And Tarkenton flips back to Foreman. Ball is loose. And looks like it might belong to the Cowboys. Yes, it does.
Again, it's between Tarkenton and Foreman, the best ball handlers, obviously, on this ball club. It's a casual pass that sort of hits off the shoulder pad of Foreman, and his effort to recover it didn't seem outstanding either.
Staubach gets away from Page and finally does not get away from everybody else. It's ruled an incomplete pass. Laidlaw had it. Marshall has it now. And now the referees get it from the crowd.
Tony Dorsett, Pat, has got to learn to pick up. Alan Page makes a big move on Fitzgerald, and watch 33 not get the block on him, and that's what happened to that last play. There he is standing there. Roger now unloads and almost gets Laidlaw put in the infirmary.
We come back live. The ball is loose and live. And Minnesota's got it.
Strong safety Jeff Wright played for the Vikings from 1971 through 1977 and started 62 games. He only intercepted 12 passes, but he had a fine career considering he was a 15th round draft choice out of the University of Minnesota. He played in 3 Super Bowls and had his nose broken by the Dolphins running back Larry Zonka during an attempted tackle in Super Bowl VIII.
A lot going on, and right now St. Louis and Denver are scoreless in the second quarter. Houston has scored against the New York Jets. They lead 7-0. Phyllis, get us up to date with all the baseball races still left and also that America's Cup race.
Great. Reggie Jackson and Dave Kingman homered for the New York Yankees today as they defeated Detroit 6-5. And Brent, of course, will have those highlights of that game in just a moment. Baltimore held today for Brooks Robinson, but they trailed the Boston Red Sox in the 6th inning 6-4. A Baltimore defeat would place them 3.5 games behind the Yankees. In the other races, the Phillies lost to St. Louis. Their magic number staying at 5 in the National League East. The Dodgers, just starting, have a magic number of 2 over the Reds in the National League West, and Kansas City, who just won today, knocked their magic number to 4 in the American League West. Now, in Davis Cup play today, both Australia and Italy advanced to the finals, and, of course, Ted Turner's yacht, Courageous, made it 4 straight to sweep the America's Cup. Britt, what about those Yankee highlights?
All right, and Phyllis, also an update right now. Boston leading Baltimore 6-4 in the ninth. Now the highlights that Phyllis told you about. What a pickup Dave Kingman has turned out to be for the New York Yankees. In Tiger Stadium, where hitters flourish, he hit another one today. 2 in 2 days for New York as they rolled up a 6-run lead. And I want to show you a candidate for most valuable player in the American League. Maybe all you've heard about Reggie Jackson is controversy. Well, has he been thumping the last week? 5 home runs in a week, another one today. Yankees hold off the Tigers 6-5 and close in now on another championship in the American League East. And did we have an upset? The New York Giants and the Washington Redskins. Right away, the Giants ambush the Redskins' Billy Kilmer. Watch now as Kilmer attempts to throw a simple pass out on the flat. George Martin, defensive lineman, picks it off. 29 yards for a touchdown. Unfortunately, Martin later was injured. He'll be sidelined 4 weeks. Kilmer now trying desperately to bring the Redskins back into it. And he is helped here by an interference call. It is obvious on Fugit. He had no chance to go for the ball. That set up this touchdown play. Kilmer, second and goal. He shakes Riggins, number 44, loose, and he's got him as the Skins regain the lead. But it is Goldstein, the Giants' rookie quarterback. He missed all of last year because of an injury, who hit Ed Marshall down at the 7-yard line on a deflection by Houston. Then the touchdown pass that tied it at 17. Goldstein to Shirk. And it looked like they were headed for overtime. But on a simple, quick trap, the Redskins fumbled. And it was recovered by the Giants. Then with just 5 seconds left, it was Danilo kicking the field goal 20 yards, and the Giants had upset the Washington Redskins by a score of 20-17. That wasn't the only upsetter, of course.
Well, there were other upsets, Brent. We'll talk about it when we get to that Atlanta-LA game. But right now, the Minnesota Vikings and Dallas Cowboys, of course, are tied at half, or in half with the Dallas trailing the Minnesota 7-3. But this is the highlight package from Atlanta and L.A. Joe Namath has completed a pass there to Harold Jackson. The second pass here, his third pass actually of the game, was a touchdown this time to Jackson, a 29-yard score. Haskell Standback scores from 1-yard line from Atlanta to knot the game. The Rams, by the way, missed an extra point in this game. The final score was 17-6, and Haskell Standback, who had a great preseason, carries 35 yards here down to the L.A. 36-yard line, which sets up another sequence of plays, allowing Scott Hunter to hit Wallace Francis along the sideline inside the 12-yard line. Hunter goes this time on a keeper, scores another touchdown, get a field goal for Atlanta. The final score, 17-6.
Was still another long run. Look at that little delay that they run with Peyton. Sprinting out to the left, 24 yards. Again, it is Scott out in front throwing the key block. One of two touchdowns by number 34. On a 1st and goal behind Reeve Story, he plows to the corner. Now let's take a slow motion look at what the Bears were doing. They held Peyton up for a count. Got great blocking from 35, Roland Harper. He whips a linebacker. Peyton then slips through the daylight. Counted on James Scott downfield. Here he is going on his own. And finally run out of bounds. Now his second and final touchdown. It's a 3-yard run. And watch his nose for the end zone. Right there. Walter Payton, 161 yards, 23 carries, and 2 touchdowns.
1st and 10 at the 11-yard line, the opening play of the second half. Running backs are Newhouse and Pearson, and this is Pearson. Preston Pearson struggles out to about the 13, where Fred McNeil, who has replaced Wally Hilgenberg in that Minnesota defense, makes the tackle. Danny White standing in his own end zone. Minnesota not trying to block it. White gets off a good kick. Bob Grimm drops it. I believe the Vikings got it back. Dallas had a chance, but the Vikings got it back at their own 45. Bob Grimm looking up into what is a very difficult sun right now. Gordon Johncock, Janet Guthrie, and Al Unser. All competing.
All in one car.
And live. Foreman straight ahead. Inside Dallas territory to the 47-yard line. Stopped by Randy White.
Right off Mick Tingelhoff, number 53. By the way, he is playing in his 211th consecutive football game, which breaks Jim Otto's record, the great Oakland Raiders double zero, but 53 has been in their 211 straight contests.
Mick has even given up the high-top shoes. He looks 5 years younger.
Yeah, look at that. He's got the racy jobs on.
Yeah. 2nd down, 4. That's McClanahan looking for a place to go. He fumbles. Foreman picks it up and gets it. Minnesota 1st down. 1st and 10. Foreman steps out of the couple.
Incredible. No way he makes the corner, much less making a yardage. And I'll be darned if he didn't do it. And you're right, at 2:06, he is even quicker. And he always used to be able to put his legs in one direction and a body in the other. You think this guy wouldn't be a heck of a skier at Vail or Sun Valley. Watch him get over to the sideline. Dede gets one shot at him, Dede Lewis. Nobody keeps their balance and runs that thing like that.
They operate from the Dallas 35. He had forever. Stu Boyd to the 11. It is 3rd down and 7. Again, plenty of time for Tarkenton. And the chase was on, and Tarkenton goes down. The report on Ahmad Rashad is that he was knocked out on that first play. That he will not play anymore today. He is staying in the locker room, in fact. Fred Cox with Paul Krause at the 31, so it'll be a 41-yard attempt. No good. Wide to the right by Cox. 1st down, Cowboys at their own 44-yard line. 5 minutes, 43 seconds left, 3rd period. Vikings lead 7-3. Pat Summerall with Tom Brookshire. Bloomington, Minnesota. Golden Richards comes left and Drew Pearson goes right. Dupree in motion. Forward handoff to Newhouse. And after all that shifting and dancing, nothing doing. Staubach. Down the middle. Billy Joe Dupree, I believe he got it. Well, that's a fine throw by Staubach. Staubach drops back deep. Gerald snap is good. Rogers going for the bunch. Out of bounds. Pearson well covered by Nate Wright. They're not in field goal range either. Danny White and punting unit come on for Dallas. It is still Minnesota 7, Dallas 3.
You can't cry wolf too often. You get that ball, somebody's going to have to make points out of it. The last team with the ball may win this game.
47,678 in attendance.
As part of the NFL-AFL merger in 1970, the NFL declared that stadiums with less than 50,000 seats were inadequate, so that was the minimum requirement. Metropolitan Stadium only seated 49,700 for football games, but I guess that was close enough because the NFL did not make the Vikings add more seating.
3rd and 21 situation, 2 minutes, 24 seconds left, third quarter. Minnesota 7, Dallas 3. Tarkenton again goes deep. Throwing deep. Picked off by Cliff Harris. His second interception of the day at the 45. Harris gives the Cowboys the ball back.
All right. Fran Tarkenton throwing from deep in his own territory, and they've been flirting with disaster down here the entire quarter. And the guy from Ouachita College, well, I'll tell you, that is fingertip control. I don't know how he got control of the ball.
At the 45-yard line of Minnesota on first down. Staubach pitches back to Pearson. Got a couple of blocks. But that Minnesota defense pursues so well, you don't fool anybody in that veteran group. A third down situation, and 3. At the Minnesota 39, Staubach dropped. No shotgun. Now he's chased. Fran Tarkenton now with Chuck Foreman and Robert Miller, the running back. I beg your pardon, it's McClanahan and nothing doing for Foreman.
You want to see what it looks like in the line of scrimmage? There's Tinglehoff. He's been doing that for 16 years. Now watch what happens on the snap. Remember, the poor center starts every one of them. There's Randy White, Goodrum, Brunig, Tutaw. Don't ask me how they do not have more injuries on that line of scrimmage than they do. That is a war on each snap. In fact, the only reason there's not a fight is they have to go back to the huddle, both teams.
3rd and 5 situation for Minnesota. Tarkenton to throw. Or trying to, and throws. Cliff Harris almost came up with the interception. It was intended for Chuck Foreman. Opening day of the NFL season, number 58.
Well, I was right. They got a lot of points there that third period, didn't they?
Yeah, just waiting for the fuse to go off. 7-3 the score, Minnesota over Dallas. The Cowboys are going to put it up. Or they're going to try to put it up. Carl Eller and James White.
This game was dominated by the defenses. While it's a low-scoring game, I enjoy it because the rules had not changed as of yet that gave offenses too much of an advantage. This type of slugfest isn't for everybody, but it is for me.
Almost gets away with it. Almost isn't good enough, is it?
Tony Hill split wide to the right. Again, Staubach in trouble. Fires up the middle of Newhouse. And Newhouse, still struggling, gets close to the original line of scrimmage. Golden Richards right. Staubach dropped. But Pearson, he got him. Matt Blair got him out of bounds. 3rd and 3. 8:50 left in this game. Minnesota leads 7-3. Staubach throws. Caught by Pearson. What a catch. And a touchdown, Dallas.
And Seaman had him covered right on the goal line, and he twisted his body around while he was being wrapped.
Miraculous catch by Preston Pearson.
Tough call. You can see they're having a double on Page, Fitzgerald, and Scott. Now watch this throw, sidearm. I don't believe the catch.
Can't cover him any better. Tarkenton to Foreman. Trying to find some room, and does. Squirms to the outside before Benny Barnes, number 31, made the tackle. Tarkenton's going to throw. Or try to. Randy White chasing him. It looks like a ballet dance back there as Tarkenton gets away from everybody and finally does throw. Robert Miller gets some room. Cliff Harris, the only man. In Dallas territory. What a job Tarkenton did. 3rd and 3. Fans start to stomp. And again, when Tarkenton is so valuable in a situation like this because he can run as well as throw. Wow. D.D. Lewis popped him out of bounds, but he got his first down.
You said it. And this time it's all run. He knows he's going to have to run with it. Now watch it. Boy, now he hot-puts it. And D.D. really gives him a shot. In fact, he goes almost under the Dallas bench.
First and 10, Minnesota. 4.5 minutes left to play. Foreman. To the 12.
15 years, Fred Cox has been looking pressure right in the face. He said the other day, well, I guess I've seen about all kinds. But he's in a pretty darn pressurized position right now, I'll tell you.
It is going to be a 35-yard attempt. Cox had a lot of competition in training camp. But that experience is one reason they kept him and not the other guy. It's good. Minnesota 10, Dallas 10. A minute 35 left to play. Good. Cox kicks away. Butch Johnson will field it at the goal line. Clock starts, and here comes Johnson. Swinging to the outside. Got a couple of blocks. Butch Johnson to the 45, to the 48-yard line. Second and 5. The Minnesota 48. They're not in field goal range as of right now. Less than a minute left to play. Staubach gets the forward handoff to Newhouse. Oh! Newhouse gets to the 45 where he is really hit by Jeff Seaman.
Seaman and Blair really unloaded on Newhouse.
Forward handoff is to Pearson. He's got the first down for Dallas. 30 seconds. At the 39-yard of Minnesota, Staubach drops. Newhouse gets out of bounds at the 32. A second down situation. Second and 23. A second and 2. 23 seconds. Golden Richards jumps it incomplete. Blitz is on by the Vikes. Wide open is Pearson. At the 15, he is out of bounds. Staubach gives to Pearson, and he protects. He gets to the 10. He is also kicking very well for Dallas. 78% he was last year, and that's just phenomenal. 6 seconds left on the clock. 10-10 to score. Efren Herrera with Charlie Waters to hold. At the 18, it'll be 28 yards for Herrera. It is not good. He pulled it.
Sudden death overtime. 185 pounds, and you've seen him come across the middle. Of course, the people here have seen him catch the ball in the last few seconds to win the championship game, right? Well, watch this catch, and I mean he's stuck. Coming across the middle, that's the test. And I'll tell you, Pearson is all by himself in that category.
And tough, too. He looked like he might be a little bit shaken, but by the time he got back to the huddle, he was okay. And now he slips wide to the right. First and 10. Dallas. Minnesota 31. Pearson again. Caught it again. Amazing.
Drew Pearson only caught one pass in regulation play, but caught two big ones on this drive in overtime. This is the reason that his nickname was Clutch.
Second and 6. The ball at the 26. Staubach fails, throws out the Golden Richards. Breaks a couple. Golden Richards down to about the 15 before they get him out of bounds. Bobby Bryant. Good effort by Golden. 10-10. Dallas, Minnesota. We're in overtime. It looks like Herrera might get another chance. Newhouse. To the 9. Second and 4. At the 9, Staubach gives to Pearson, who breaks one tackle. Broke out of the arms of Alan Page. Got back inside the 9 down to about the 8. The ball is at the 8. Staubach gives to Pearson again. Preston Pearson might have the first down on a great second effort. We'll just slide the whole schedule back. We'll see it all. Staubach looking in the end zone. He's going to run. Roger Staubach scores for Dallas, and that'll do it. 16-10, the Cowboys prevail.
A playoff game on the very first weekend of the season. I think he wanted to run with it all the way. The end did not get out. Good coverage by Minnesota. Blair comes up, a fast linebacker. You're looking at the man that went to the Naval Academy, taking in himself. Up periscope. Looks like he made it.
Took it right over Jeff Seaman to score.